So I'm getting a lot of questions about what keybinds I use, so I'm just going to go through them real quick. I'm going to show you both my speed and Kendo keybinds, but they're pretty much the same. Only difference really is the hotbar setup, but I'm going to give you my thought process and behind why I do this. So 1 to 6 are pretty easy keys, pretty accessible in my opinion to get to. And you should have your most used keys or most used skills slash the ones with low cooldown towards your closest, like 1, 2, 3, because you'll be able to get to them quickly. And then the ones that take slightly longer or ones that you use less often move more to the right. And then the high priority is left. So 1 to 6, and then you got that. And then 7, I recommend on every build or every race that you put 7 as like a ranged move or a move that has a long cooldown. Like, for example, I'm using Sangswinger in that slot. If I was on Soul Reaper, I'd probably put Visored Sarrow there. It's far away, and because it's far away, you want a skill that you won't use too often, but I put Visored Sarrow there because when you're using it, you're standing still, so you have time to just take your fingers off like your movement keys to quickly press the furthest key you have. And then let's get into my custom keybinds. So 890 are on my mouse. Now the reason I do that is because obviously I don't have fingers that can go all the way to 890, and nobody else I think does. So you'll save yourself a lot of effort if you do this. I recommend putting 9 on the top mouse button, 0 on the bottom one, and then 8 on your middle mouse. And I recommend you put on your middle mouse button the one that you use less often. Like for example, on speed right now, I have my ultra skill there because I'm not using that too often. I don't want to press my middle mouse button for a skill I need to use. And 9 and 0 are high priority because you can do it real quickly. Like I have Black Claw there because I aim with it, and you can do waterfall dance here. Now these last two ones, I recommend you use what's it called? So tilde. If you don't know where that is, that's this key right here to the left of 1. It's very accessible, and it's not used for anything in the game, so I recommend you use it. And that's what my minus key is. And then for the equal sign, I use caps lock. Again, it's one that you don't use too often, or it has no use in the game, so it's a free button. It's accessible. It's right next to WASD. If you don't know where caps lock is, if you've never looked at a keyboard, it's right here as well. But I recommend you use that. You can also, if you're not a Quincy, you can put tab for your 7 key, so it could be even more accessible, so you only have to reach to 1 to 6. I don't use it, obviously, because I'm a Quincy. If you are on Quincy, you'll just pull out a bow. But on my Ronkar and my Soul Reaper, I do have 7 set to tab, just so it's easier to reach. But that's all you need to do. If you're wondering, this is Logitech G Hub. It's because I have a Logitech mouse. If you have another mouse like Razer, this Razer Synapse, or whatever mouse you have, most likely has software for it. So if you just look that up, and you could set your keybinds. And yeah, I think that's it, probably. I'll probably show my Kendo keybinds now, though, too, just in case you guys want to see how I have them set up. Alright, so we're here on my Kendo slot. This isn't a Ronkar, but it should be around the same for Soul Reapers as well. Same thing, 1 to 6. You want your moves that you use more often, the lower cooldown ones towards the left, and the lower priority ones towards the right. Like, I like having my ranged moves further away from my main keys, which is like 1 to 5, and my ranged moves are usually on 6 and 7. So for 6, I have Mortal Ties. It's a ranged move, and because you just throw it out whenever, and it's got a super long cooldown, that's why I don't really care. It's at a far key. And like I said earlier, you could put your 7 key to tab, like I have right now, so you can make it even more accessible, so you don't have to reach all the way to the 7. Like I recommend, if you're on a Soul Reaper, like I said earlier, put your Visored Sarrow there. But because I'm on a Ronkar, I have just Sarrow Corneus there, because it's a ranged move, and it's tab is pretty easy to hit, so I just put it over there. One thing that differs between my speed build is that instead of 8 being an ultra skill, I have 8 as my movement key, because I think on Kendo you're not as mobile as speed because you have less flash step speed. So I like to have something I can easily access, and it's on my mouse, so I have free flowing pedals there. Flower Passage, you can move around real quickly without having to reach for a stupid long key or a key that's far away. And same thing again, 890 are on my mouse. 9 and 0 I usually recommend at my skill boxes. So I've got Crescent and Eviscerate because they're the best Kendo SBs. And then Caps Lock for equals. And again, tilde is my minus key. So I think that's it. If you want, I could show my Kido keybinds in a separate video, but I'd have to make one for every race because, you know, they have different stuff and different hotbars. But it should be around the same. Low cooldown on the left. Ones that are longer range, high cooldown, put on 6 and 7 because you're not using them too often. Most of the time you're up close with somebody. But if you're far away, you've got time to reach and press like Mortal Ties real quick, or a Sarrow Corneus, or a Visored Sarrow. So that's why I put them there. Anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure to sub, and stay tuned for more Clan Wars and build videos.